All right. Thank you all so much for joining us. My name is Walisha Wilson Menifee. I am the founder of New Life Second Chance Outreach, which is a statewide organization born and raised right here in Columbus, Georgia, to advocate and support individuals who are impacted by an arrest, conviction, or incarceration to connect with resources that offer second chances. Thank you all for joining us for our candidate forum. Not a forum, we had a forum last night, but for our candidate vote pitches. And just like entrepreneurs have to pitch for funds, we ask the candidates to join us to pitch for your votes. Because as we discussed last night at the candidate forum for mayoral and city council 7 and 9, that when you want votes, you should have to earn those votes. And this is just a way for us to be able to do that. So Andes is just going to give just some quick ground rules, and we're going to go and move. We'll start with any acknowledging the candidates that are on the call, and we'll start with anybody who's doing mayor, city council, school board, and then we'll do the state rep. No questions that we got from last night are having our list, and I've been adding them to our questionnaire list. Andes, are you on the call?
I am, but I had something come up. Can I pass on the
No.
welcome?
Okay, you good. We're good. So again, this is a nonpartisan opportunity, and even though all candidates have been invited, including the incumbents and those who are currently the ones who are currently sitting in those seats, as well as candidates. Some are able to make it, some were not. But everybody on the call will be acknowledged in such. And so at this time, we're going to give 3 minutes. Let me set my timer. Who is on the call who's running for mayor? We will start with mayoral candidates. If you're on the call, you would unmute well, at least come off camera. So we have one, Dr. Bryant.
Myself, Joanne
Who is
Kogel.
that? Okay, there's
Kogel.
Joanne. And who else? Those are only two mayoral candidates. Going once, going twice. All righty. So we will start to my left to right. And who am I seeing first?
You're seeing Dr. Bryant. She's up top.
Who am I seeing? Yeah, I'm
And
talking about
then
to my
Miss.
left. To my left is Joanne Kogel. So we're going to go left to right.
Okay.
So we will start with Ms. Kogel. And we are asking all candidates to do a 3-minute pitch on who you are, basically what your platform is. What do you feel like you can offer? Why you should have their vote? And we want one priority that is a social justice or a criminal justice priority. Now, you may not have one. So if you don't, we want you to be honest and say, honestly, I can care less about social justice or criminal justice, but I think people need to know that. But we hoping you do. And if you do, we would need to at least one. Okay. We're going to make sure everybody's unmuted, and we're going to allow Ms. Kogel to have the floor.
Sure. Thank you very much. My name is Joanne Kogel. Thank you all for being here. I am a mother, a military spouse, a business owner on city council, and I'm running here for mayor. My platform is pretty simple. I believe that we can be the safest city in Georgia, the best place to do business in Georgia, and that our citizens deserve to have the level of services that they expect and that they deserve. And so I believe in Columbus that your future should not be determined by your zip code. And unfortunately, that is a reality for a lot of people here in our city. Because we all know that where you live today can really shape your everything, the conditions of your streets, the healthcare, your proximity to jobs. Ultimately, it can affect your opportunity. And I think that's one of the places that we are falling short. So when we're talking about social justice, I am talking about access to opportunity, that measurable, real opportunity that is available here for everybody in Columbus. And when, because when people are doing everything right and they still can't get ahead, then our system just simply isn't working. And as city councilor, I've seen both sides. I've seen growth, I've seen progress, investment, but I've also seen a lot of areas that have been overlooked for a long time. And I don't think that that is uneven development. I think that's a fairness issue, and that's one that we have the ability and the responsibility to fix. And that starts with being intentional about where we invest and how we support our small businesses. not just in corridors, but across the entire city, making sure that we are intentional with infrastructure, roads and buildings, our services, resources, and that we reach every neighborhood in a timely manner, not just the ones that are thriving. Because when access expands, opportunity follows, and where opportunity grows, so does the stability for our families and our neighborhoods and Columbus as a whole. So I'm not running to represent one group. I am running to make sure that our system works better, that we close the gaps in our access so that we don't divide our city, that we actually strengthen it. And this is how I work. This is how I've done the work in my district for the last 4 years. I haven't just talked about these issues. I've worked on them. I understand how the system works, where it breaks down, and how it takes to move, or what it takes to move things forward. As a business owner, I know how to manage resources and make decisions and get results. As a military spouse, I understand sacrifice and service and the importance of a community. As a mom, I am invested in the future of the city, and I know how to lead and I know how to get things done. And this is about consistent leadership, showing up. This is about listening and following through. It's how I've served as a counselor. It's how I run my business. It's how I parent. And that's how I will lead as the next mayor. So if you're looking for leadership that is focused on access, opportunity, and results, I'd be honored to earn your vote on May 19. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Joanne. If you would like, can you at least let them know what your website is or where they can learn
Sure.
more about you?
My website is Cogle, Cogle, Columbus.com.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
So we have next in line is Dr. Bryant. And of course, any candidates who feel like you or you have other obligations, do not feel pressure to stay after you've done your pitch. We would love for you to stay because you yourself also is a voter. So we would like for you to be able to stay and listen to the candidates who will be representing you. Dr. Bryant.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and press my website to start my timer. And so that's my website there, drbryantforcolumbus.com. And I think that's actually a really cool way to start it off. So for Columbus. And so I am a clinician, a researcher, and a doctor in leadership. And so I really truly am for Columbus, like for the voices of Columbus, for the voices that have been overlooked, unheard for decades, sadly, and also a connection to real action and resources. And so I feel like Columbus faces like real challenges, like in climate change, sustainability, and equitable growth. And so some of my priorities are, as mayor, I'll prioritize responsible development that protects our environment and our communities. And so like large scales, like our projects, like our data centers that we've been hearing lots about, constrain our water, our energy, and green space if not carefully managed. And so like with that, I'll work with local agencies and residents to ensure our natural resources are preserved while promoting healthy, active lifestyles. I know we have dragon trails, but like being able to utilize those and understanding what environmental like science and justice really is about quality air. And so it's kind of oxymoron to say I want environmental justice, but actually promote like things like, large data centers. And so I also believe in environmental action and social justice. They go hand in hand. Like you can't leave one without the other, especially in the state of what our community is in. And so with me as mayor, I'll advance racial and social equity by hiring a diverse administration team, especially in our budget and our financing, to ensure our decisions actually reflect the spectrum of our Columbus. And so just yesterday, I mentioned that our median is on 59,000 when it comes to the income. So we actually don't have representation that actually is speaking of that and is looking at that, such as LGBTQ advisory boards or youth or people who have different backgrounds and walks. Like if you have a background of being formerly incarcerated, then we're going to keep missing the mark when it comes to the actual resources that our community needs. And so that's something I'm willing to put in place and to assist with is the diversity that's needed for our community. and having that oversight, again, like youth, our mental health needs, our mental health professionals that actually need to be on boards, and our elders that need to be on boards. And so finally, addressing poverty and housing insecurity is central to the work as well. So a program that's really beautiful is Minneapolis program with micro units. We have a homelessness issue. There's only 369 reported. That's not including the people that are in hotels. So putting in a 24-hour access micro unit is going to be beneficial. With access to mental health and medical services is something that, like, I believe our city needs to actually address homelessness. And so,
All right.
Website in Dr. Bryant for Columbus.
All right. Thank you so very much. And that's also helpful if the candidates, when you come on, if you're able to set a timer, that actually helps. Thank you so much, Asim. I don't know if you all can see me, but I am in the chat putting when in 1 minute left and 30 seconds left. So if you're able to pay attention to that as well, if you don't have your own timer up, that's helpful. So right now, those were the last two mayoral candidates. Are there any other mayoral candidates who has come in? Going once, going twice. Right now, we are going to go. A few people are still in sessions. So we are now going to go to Board of Education. Board of Education, we're going to give them some love. Also, our candidate forum for our Board of Education will be in person tomorrow at 5:30 to 7 o'clock at the main library in the Synovus rooms where we were last night. But we also know that there is one going on at 6:30, I believe, that's going to be across the way at the council chambers. We are going to respect that. We know some of you are going to want to come to that one as well. So we're going to probably wrap ours up in like 45 minutes to give you 15 minutes to shuffle across the street. So that makes you, I think they're having a mayoral and city council candidate as well. I think that's Wayne Hales and a few other folks. So we want to make sure we do that. So we're going to go, who all here is from the school board? I see Miss Abdullah. Who else is here from the school board? Please unmute yourself and let us know you're here. Is Miss Abdullah the only one from the school board here? Okay. Well, Miss Abdullah, the floor is yours. You have 3 minutes. Tell us about yourself. And I know what you're representing in school board is a little different from city council because people ask us, why is criminal justice? What does that have to do with equity? And I know you and I spoke briefly about it, but education does have a lot of criminal justice and social justice components when you're talking about education, when you're dealing with children who may be living unsheltered or children who are in abusive homes, the school to prison pipeline. What is the school board going to do about the zero tolerance policies that are pushing children, primarily Black children, into the prison, the youth systems early? So those are some of the things that we want to talk about. So if you can let us know about yourself, what seat you're running for, and your priorities, with at least one of them being a social justice or a criminal justice priority. And be sure to either let us know what your website is, or you can drop it in the chat. All right, your 3 minutes has started.
So I already dropped my website in the chat, so you guys can reach me. Check out what I'm putting on the website. So I am Sadia Abdullah. I am running for the at-large seat, so District 9 for school board. Why choose me? Because I'm actually an educator who wants to bring change to Muscogee County School District. I honestly believe that we can have top-notch schools throughout the district and not just our select or magnet programs that require students to test in. So those are the schools that tend to be our high flyers. One of the things we look at is we have a 96% graduation rate, but only 31% of our kids are reading on grade level. So we're pushing them out, but what are we pushing them out into? And when you talk about social justice, education really is the leveler of the playing field. I grew up in poverty. My parents were from the South, and so my mom had an 8th grade education. My dad had a 3rd grade education, but I'm at Auburn working on a PhD in reading. And so you can't tell me that where you live determines what your outcome is, because I don't want to hear that. So all of the schools that I've worked at throughout my entire career have been Title I schools where the kids look like me and come from the places that I come from. That means the kids who really need someone to come in and be that advocate and champion for them. Currently on our school board, we have people who have been sitting in these seats for 15, 13, 20 years, I mean, for years, decades. And then when you look at the numbers of what's happening with our kids, in all honesty, it boggles my mind. Why do you even keep running for this seat when you're not bringing the change that our community needs? Because what we know is strong schools build strong communities. And so if you want to lower the crime rate, if you want higher property values, if you want lower incarceration rates, it's education. It's our education that is the starting block. And so if we don't fix that, we're never going to have Columbus be like the second largest city in Georgia. Why aren't we top notch? Why aren't people and businesses clamoring to come to our city? It's because of our schools. Big businesses will come to areas where they know they're going to have individuals who can take the jobs that they're offering. So if we get our school system right, that is what's going to change all of Columbus for all of our citizens, not just for the few. So for me, literacy is the top-notch thing. As I said, my PhD is in literacy at Auburn. Majority of the individuals who are incarcerated cannot read on grade level. There's a direct connection between that literacy and incarceration.
Oh,
My
I
time
love
is
it.
up. My timer went off, so I'm going to honor
Oh,
that.
okay. Well, I still had you for 30 seconds, but if you want to
Oh,
make sure
okay.
you can drop your
I put the website in the chat, so
okay.
I am very passionate about conversations. I love to talk to people about education. I am a numbers girl. I love data. I search out data. I've spoken at the school board meetings. So if you want to have a conversation about education, I am truly the person. Please talk to me.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Mhm.
All righty. Is there anybody else on the call from school board before we move along to
We just lost you.
I'm sorry. Is
You
there
muted us
anybody
so
else on
long
the
ago.
call from school board before we go to citywide? I mean, before we go to city council, District 9. We're gonna go backwards. Huh? All right, going once, going twice. That's it. Okay, so we will go see who all's on the cat because I can only see so many. I do see John Van Dorn. Who else is on the call from District 9 at large, right? Besides John Van Dorn. All righty. Well, John, are you setting a timer or you got me setting it?
Yeah, I've set a timer.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead with John Van Dorn.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm Dr. John Van Dorn. I'm a candidate for District 9, citywide at large. Let me go ahead and put up my contact information there. You see electjohnvandorn.com. You can email me at electjohnvandorn for 9, and you can also call me at 706-289-1578. I am a native of Columbus, Georgia. I understand this city, east, west, north, and south. I appreciate every part of the city. I believe that those of us who have the opportunity to step up and serve based upon our long experience and knowledge should do that. I believe I am the best qualified with a unique combination of both 35 years of teaching in politics and policy, a PhD, earned PhD in that subject. I'm a published author. This is my book here, one of my recent books. I don't know if you can see it there. You probably can. And the second part of my unique combination is 20 years of political experience. I'm not a Johnny or Jane come lately to politics. I've been in the trenches. I've helped register voters. I know all the local political actors, and I know how to get things done on day one. So I believe that combination makes me, a standout in this race. I appreciate my opponents, but I don't believe they have that combination of experience, judgment, and temperament. Now, my quick platform. is number one, we have to restore trust in city government and between citizens in the community. And we do that by consciously keeping our word in private as well as in public. We do that by making sure the public's voice is heard. That is my North Star. It's on all my literature. My little card here has that logo. You probably can't see that. But if we don't know what the public voice is, we need to go out and seek it. We need to use surveys, sortitions to figure out what the public wants, the public needs, and then effectively translate that into public policy. That and that alone will restore trust in city council. Number two, I believe we have an affordability crisis in Columbus, Georgia. We need to work on reducing utility rates, not increasing them like they would probably happen with a data center. We need to work on affordable housing, the utilities, water, all of that, and I have plans to do so. We need sustained job growth, and I believe in bringing back industries with good paying jobs, and I have an idea for an enterprise fund to help struggling startups, especially in the south of Columbus, that I'm working with the group right now. And number three, we need to have holistic public safety, and this is where it really comes into NLSCO community. We need to respect those who are incarcerated and formerly incarcerated. And my pledge to you and why you should vote for me is I would use affordable housing grants and funds to help the formerly incarcerated transition back into civilian life with job opportunities. I would make sure that voting rights are restored. And I see we're out of time. And I would make sure that policing is done in a holistic fashion, building trust between the police and the community.
Thank you so very much. Community policing is very, very important. You got to relate to the people that you're policing. Thank you so very much, Dr. Van Dorn. Anyone else on the call from 9 before we go to 7? Going once, going twice, and we are going left to right. So I see my Sarah, Lakeitha Ash, and then I see Becca. So that's it for 9, and we will have Lakeitha on. Are you setting your timer, Lakeitha, or you needed me to do that?
Yeah, I'm setting it now.
Okay, all
have it
righty,
set
there
now.
you go. And if you, like I said, yourself, your platform, at least one social justice, and if you want to drop your website or anything like that, definitely drop it. There you go.
All right. All righty. Thank you so much. Good evening to everyone. And thank you so much for creating spaces and conversations and connections like this. It's very important during this time. My name is Lakeitha Ash, and I'm running for Columbus City Council District 7. I'm not new to this community. I'm not new to this district. I'm a product of this district. I wasn't born here, raised here, but I've been here for over 26 years. I've worked here. I built relationships right here for over those 2 decades. So when I speak about District 7, I'm not speaking from the outside looking in. I'm speaking from lived experiences. I hear consistently in this that people want, to feel seen. They want to feel heard. I was just somewhere today, and that's what, they're saying. We want to feel seen. We want to feel heard. We want to feel supported, not just during an election season. It's easy for candidates to come out and knock on your door during, election season, but they want this every day, every month. They want this feeling. So that's why that's one of my top priorities, and running is just strengthening accessibility, neighborhood engagement, because it directly impacts both social and criminal justice outcomes. We speak a lot about those social issues when it comes to social justice, and with them not feeling connected or heard, that's one way it really is a disconnect, for them. So when people feel disconnected or unheard or, unsupported, that's when we begin to see higher crime rates, mistrust. People are not trusting like they used to trust. Instability in communities. But when we invest in, that connection, when we give accessibility back to us and not having to come to us, where we can bridge that gap for from being, from here to there, we can bring the benefits to them. So simply my focus is simple, but it's powerful. It's to build stronger relationships between the residents and our local leadership and our community organizations by increasing, consistent by increasing visibility in our presence in the community itself, not just, for me, but across partnerships. I'm trying to, my timer, I think, just went off. People ask, why should they believe us, at this point? Why should we actually believe that you will make this happen? And my answer is simple, because I already am doing the work. I've already been showing up. I'm not new in this. This is my third race. I've been building relationships long before this campaign. And I'm not interested in being a leader who only speaks when something goes wrong. I believe in being proactive, not reactive. District
It's
7
time.
deserves is accessible, accountable, and truly connected to the people. And that's why I'm running. So on May 19th, and I'm sorry, I went over just a few seconds. On May 19th, I asked for your vote.
Thank you
Lakeitha
so
Ash,
much.
7, and I'll drop my information in the chat.
Please do. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was Lakeitha Ash for City Council, District 7. Is there anybody besides everybody else on the call? Because after Becca, that's all I see. Who else is on the call from 7? Is Ms. Shiara Richardson on the call? Okay. All righty, Becca, I've set your 3 minutes. You good to go.
Okay, thanks. I get long-winded, so make sure you give me a heads up. But hey, I'm Becca Zajac. I am running for District 7 City Councilor. I live in the historic district with my fiance Miles, and we have 2 rescue pups, Andy and Boulder. I moved to Columbus 10 years ago, and I have lived and worked in the district since then. My first job was at Uptown Columbus, where I worked to attract small businesses, activate downtown through events, and then keep Uptown safe and clean. I transitioned to being the executive director at Dragonfly Trails. So Dragonfly Trails, if you're familiar with the Riverwalk or the Fall Line Trace, we have a master plan to build off of those trails and connect all of the city through trails. So through that role, I work really closely with the city through planning, engineering, parks and rec, public safety, and also with GDOT. And so I'm very familiar with how the city works, from taking a small concept to delivering a project. And then one of the cool things about Dragonfly Trails is I actually have done a lot of the public art installations in Columbus. So if you're familiar with murals, the large one on the Riverwalk, Spirit of Chattahoochee, was a project that I led, and also the lighting in the underpass. So that's a little bit about me. My kind of main 4 areas that I'm focused on specifically are economic development in South Columbus, public safety, attainable housing, and just maintaining the assets we have. So I think from an economic development standpoint in South Columbus, I've seen some of the strongest entrepreneurial spirit, and I would love to see a satellite startup Columbus down there. I'm very interested in workforce development. We have the Vector Center, which is being led by Columbus Tech, which is workforce development to get folks in our community ready for jobs that our economic development team is bringing. Choose Columbus, and I'm sure you guys have heard of them. But in addition to that, sort of, I would say through the New Life Second Chance prep forum that I did yesterday, I've been learning a lot for the last few months about the jail and whether we need a new one, and why is there a backlog of folks getting their trial. And one of the things I found that I really am interested in is how do we address recidivism, and can we continue to train incarcerated folks while they're in jail so that when they get out, they can have an opportunity to have a job, pay their bills, just live a normal life. And so that's probably my real big social justice piece that I've learned about because of this process, and I want to attack head on when I become a District 7 city councilor. So why am I running? All of us have sort of been subject to the chaos of city council for the last few years. And I think that whichever candidates we put in these seats, it is the most important election that we've had. And we've got to have city councilors that can collaborate with each other, can collaborate with the mayor, can collaborate with city staff. We've got to have candidates that have experience in city government. They understand departments and hierarchy, and they understand funding and how to deliver a project on time. And then third, I think
Oh, go
Okay,
ahead. Finish your
I'm going to
sentence.
wrap it
Finish
up.
that.
Yep. Third is you need counselors that can communicate to and from their constituents. And I've been doing that for the last 10 years professionally and in my spare time. So I'm Becca Zajac. I'm running for District 7 City Council. And I'll drop my stuff in the chat.
Thank you so very much. That is Becca Zajac for 7. Is there anybody else on the call for District 7 City Council? Going once, going twice. All righty, we are at, I don't know how to count, 9, 7, 5. We're at 5. Anybody on the call? I see Robert Watkins. Anybody else? Is Charmaine Crabb on the call? Okay. All right, Robert Watkins. Do you have your timer set or you need me?
I got my timer.
All righty.
All
Got
right.
the floor.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for hosting this. The forum you had was one of the best that we've participated in, and we really appreciate the work that you do. As you said, I'm Robert Watkins Jr., and I'm running for District 5 City Council. I was born and raised right here in Columbus. I live here with my wife, Kern, and our 2 children, Clementine and Bert. A proud graduate of Pacelli High School. After Pacelli, I went to Georgia for undergrad, and then I did my law school at the University of Alabama. In 2010, I graduated law school and had a choice. And I chose to come back to Columbus. And I chose it for a specific reason. I wanted to start a family here, and I wanted to build a business here. And since then, I've been practicing in the area of criminal defense, civil litigation. And since 2020, I've been the city attorney for the city of Hamilton. So everything from budgets to ordinances and all things in between. Outside of the courtroom, I've been in leadership roles in nonprofit and professional organizations like the Columbus Bar Association, the Columbus Inn of Court. I am the chairman of the board of Direct Services, and I was appointed by Mayor Henderson as the vice chair of the newly created Sports and Entertainment Authority. So that's a little bit about who I am and what I do, but what do I want to focus on if elected? I want to focus on 3 primary areas. First is housing. We've heard a lot about that tonight. I really want to focus on blight reduction and neighborhood rejuvenation. There's some things on our website that you can check that out. The second is, and I think this touches on another theme, is access to justice. I think we have to give our state and recorder's court judges the resources they need to hear the cases that we are asking them to hear. Additionally, I want to advocate for an additional full-time juvenile court judge, since we only have 2 full-time juvenile court judges in the city. And lastly, I want to help restore trust in local government. I think our trust in council, our trust in local institutions has been damaged over the past 4 to 8 years. And that's something I feel strongly about, bringing the professionalism that I have developed in the courtroom for 16 years into the council chamber. So with all that, why am I running? I'm running because I want my children to make the same decision that I made. I want them to decide to come back to Columbus. And they're only going to do that if this is a safe, vibrant city with economic opportunity. So that's why I'm running for city council. Please, if you want to know more, go to watkinsfordistrict5.com or follow us on social media. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. All righty. Thank you. Did you drop your stuff in the chat? Okay. Is that 5? So now we're at 3. Who's on the call for District 3? Any candidates on the call from District 3?
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Righty. We hear you.
Okay,
Do you have
I am
your
so
timer,
sorry.
or
I
you
was
need me
trying.
to-
I got stuck trying to figure out how to turn the camera back on. How's everybody doing tonight?
Nope. We're good. You want to set your timer, or you need me to set it?
No, I definitely need you to set the timer.
Okay. Where
Because
you
my
got
daughter
it.
is not here right now, and she normally helps me with all my Zoom calls, all my Zoom meetings.
Well, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready now.
All right, there you go. 3 minutes.
Very nice. Good evening, everyone. Miss Walisha, thank you so much for putting this together. My name is Sherry Aaron. I'm running for City Council District number 3. Just a little bit about myself. I am from Oakland, California, born and raised. I came here by way of military. Once I got here, I opened up several small businesses and I've raised my children here. I have a daughter who just recently graduated from Spencer High School on last year. She's in her first year of college. I have another daughter who's in her junior year at Spencer High School. So prior to me coming to Columbus, Georgia, everyone told me in the military, do not live below exit 6. They said, don't go down there. You want to live above exit number 6. But what did I do? I moved below exit number 6 over here to the Bunker Hill area. I raised my children here, and I love this district. However, there's a lot of work that we need to do. We need to clean it up. We need safer streets, and we need things for our children to do. So I'm also the chairman of a board here called the Land Bank Board. I'm also a committee member for several boards. I also am board members for one in particular. It's called the Teen Impact Society, where we do a lot of work with our teenagers. So one of my most greatest passions is our youth. I love to work with our youth. I've been doing it for several years. I do understand that if we do not invest in our children, the crime rate will definitely increase. It will increase because these children don't have very much to do. My daughter told me the other day here recently that her friends, not her close friends, but persons that she know, they want money. So sometimes they're doing things out there they should not be doing because they want to make money. So one of my primary focuses once I'm elected is working on our bus system to be able to get our children to work because they want to work, be able to get them to other programs outside of District number 3, because we have a lot of retired folks here. We have a lot of seniors here, but we also have a lot of youth here. So increasing our transportation is going to be very important for our communities to grow. Listen, I'm out every day knocking on doors, meeting with my neighbors, loving on them. So initially, when I first am elected, one of the other priorities that I'm going to have is to get some of these streetlights fixed. They all tell me all the time, Miss Sherry, we need to work on some of these streetlights. So it's a lot of things that's important to me, but most importantly to them is getting some things for our children to do and getting these streetlights fixed. One thing that I do know is once we invest in District number 3 and get it cleaned up and get it built up, when District 3 looks good, the entire Columbus looks good. So I want to be a voice, an advocate for our district to ensure that some of the funding comes to us and it's spread out evenly. I work very well with people, however, District 3 is the priority. I would like to get District 3 some funding so we can build it up. I'm asking you all to vote for me because I'm already doing the work. I'm not coming with ideas. I am coming with ideas, and I'm coming with a passion, to just get things done over here in our district. What they call it, I'm very, I'll put the word in the chat that they call me, but I understand District 3 needs a lot of work, and I'm here and I'm ready for it. And I see the gaps, but I also see the potential. So I would like for you all to support me.
Well, thank you so very much. And don't forget to drop your website in the chat.
Absolutely.
All righty.
Thank you so
we know
much.
some people do come on later than others. Is Jake Golden or Zach Lee on the call? Going once, going twice. All righty. We're moving along to 9, 7, 5, 3, and 1. Who do we have on the call from 1? Unmute yourself and announce your name, please.
Yes, I am Simi Barnes, running for City Council District 1.
Okay, anybody else for City Council District 1? All righty. Ms. Barnes, do you have your timer or do you need me?
If you can put your timer on for me, please.
Okay, so you're able to see the chat when I'm dropping 1 minute, 30 seconds?
Yeah,
okay.
I can see it. Okay.
All right, there you go.
All right, thanks, y'all. Yes, again, I'll introduce myself again. I'm Simi Barnes. I'm running for City Council District 1. I believe I'm the right candidate for this role because I spent years working on the front lines on many of these issues. I've supported individuals and families dealing with mental health, substance abuse, trauma, and other instability. And so I understand how the human side and how systems need to work to create real solutions. If I had to name one priority when it comes to criminal justice, it would be reducing recidivism by strengthening reentry and support systems. I think too often individuals leave the justice system and return to the same conditions without the support they need to succeed. They face barriers to employment, housing, and basic services. And without those foundations, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Without those foundations, the cycle continues. If we're really serious about public safety, we have to be just as focused on what happens after incarceration as we are on what happens before. So I think as a city councilor, what that means is that we have to support partnerships with organizations who are already doing the work, organizations that provide job training, mental health services, housing assistance, and mentorship. It also means aligning our workforce development efforts so that people return home, they have real pathways to stable employment, not just temporary solutions. It also means addressing mental health and trauma. Many justice-involved individuals are dealing with untreated behavioral health needs. So we've got to be very vocal on how we support crisis interventions and expanded access to care, because we know that helps stabilize individuals and reduces the likelihood of repeat involvement with the system. We also have to be intentional about the barriers that many justice-involved individuals face. We have to use our voice, whether that's access to jobs, services, or simply being given a fair opportunity. When people have a real chance to rebuild their lives, they are far more likely to become productive, contributing members of society. And then, even more important, we have to listen to those who have lived experience. The people closest to these challenges often have the clearest insight about what actually works and what doesn't. So bringing those voices into the conversation leads to better decisions and stronger outcomes. At the end of the day, I think it's about just reducing recidivism. Is not just about giving people a second chance, no pun intended, but it's about smarter public safety. I think when people are supported, when they have stability, they're better able to move forward, and our entire community benefits from that. That's it. I can't hear you.
Thank you so very much. You did really good.
Thank you.
And you finished a little bit earlier.
Okay, good. I was hoping that I wouldn't go over. So good.
Okay. So we're going to just bring it down before we open to the statewide people who have on the call. Just so you know, we do have people on the call and I don't know the name of it. The people who currently sit in their seat who ain't checking their emails. Those folks, incumbents on the call. So in District 1, we have Simi Barnes and Karen Gaskins. District 2, City Council. I'm sorry, not 2. 2 is not up. 3 is Sherry Aaron, Zach Lee, Jake Golden. District 5 is Robert Watkins and Charmaine Crabb. District 7 is Becca Zajac, Lakeitha Ash, Chiara Richardson. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name right. Chiara Richardson. 9 is Dr. Robert Van Dorn, Dr. Kathy Cook, John Anker, Rocky Marsh. Mayor is Dr. Jaketra Bryant, Steve Kelly, Isaiah Hughley. School board is Miss Sadia Abdullah.
There's Mark LaJoy.
And wait, I'm sorry. Mark LaJoy and Chris Brial.
And Joanne Kogel.
And Joanne Kogel, who spoke first. So it's actually, because I'm going in line from last night, so my apologies. That was there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 mayoral candidates. And if you go on, you can find their declarations online, but there are plenty of platforms or flyers that we see. Sometimes, some people having conflicting things. So you may see a flyer with 4 people, you may see a flyer with 2, but that doesn't mean that it's on those folks. Sometimes they just weren't able to make it because of their schedules, but there are 6 mayoral. And I think as far as school board, the only one that's not in opposition or does not have an opponent is actually Naomi Buckner, but I don't want to hold on that. But there are several seats up for school board. Miss Sadia Abdullah is running for at large against Kia Chambers. Bob Roth is running against Mark Cantrell for 6. And if I'm not mistaken, Margot Schlaze, I think she's in 8. Her seat she has an opponent. And I think Nika Tillery has an opponent. All right.
I think Schlay's opponent dropped out.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I did see Miss Buckner as we were leaving yesterday, and she said she would be there tomorrow, even though she didn't have opposition. She said she would be there tomorrow, so hopefully she'll show. All right, so
Sorry,
we're
I
going to
meant
be
to say
going.
Tillery's person dropped out. Tillery's person dropped out.
Okay. And what's that person's name?
I don't remember what his name was. I just saw that he
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so very much. And before we go to the state candidates, I think it's only 3 on the call. We do want to just make some clarification, which was a question that was asked last night at the candidate forum. Why are candidates not seeking the votes of people who have been to prison? Is it that you think that we cannot vote? Because we can. You can vote in the state of Georgia with a felony. You just cannot be on probation, felony probation, or parole. You can be on misdemeanor probation. You cannot have had your first offender status revoked. You cannot have had your unconditional discharge revoked. You cannot currently be in jail serving time for a felony or there because you violated felony probation. You can vote even if you have probation, fines, or fees, or if you owe restitution, you still can vote. Okay? There are folks walking around here right now who haven't been on probation or parole for 10, 20 years and have not voted because somebody told them that because they went to prison, they cannot vote. You can vote, long as you're not currently on felony paper and those other conditions. Okay, and just so you all know, a new law will be in effect. Yay, yay, yay. For folks who got first offender, now it will actually have your record cleared as soon as you get that first offender status. So that won't hold you back of your record being hidden. And there's going to be an update on our page. It's going to be a virtual update of the new laws that are passing, criminal justice related laws that have passed. That's going to be going in effect, and we'll be sharing that on our page and sending that out as well. It's about an hour. That's going to give you an overview. One of those will be this homeless this homeless bill that was passed in Columbus. I think it was introduced by Charmaine Crabb that criminalizes unsheltered people. Well, it did. I think it did pass statewide, plus other bills that's going to be happening that will impact people already in the system and also bring people into the system. So we'll make sure we send that out to you all as well, and it'll be on our social media pages. So if you have an hour to take some time on Zoom on the next Tuesday the 14th or whenever the 14th is, we'll make sure we send it out. Please join that. Okay, so next we have state representatives. If you are in the room and you are running for we're not doing Senate yet, a state house representative, please just unmute yourself and your name so I'll know how many people are going or who's here. No state folks?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, so we got one, and who else? Is that it? All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead, Mr. Valdez. Do you need to set your time or you need me to set it?
I think I have one here. Let me see if we can get it going.
Okay.
All right, I can go. I got it. I got a timer. We're good.
Okay. All right.
So hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this session. Hopefully everybody was there last night, and if I didn't get to talk to you, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm talking to a lot of people. My name is Elliot Valdez, and I'm running for State House District 139 for the state of Georgia. I mentioned last night, if you weren't there, that it's like the first time in 22 years because of the two-party system here in Georgia, Republican and Democrat. I'm running on the Democratic side, and it's the first time like in 22 years has been a really serious campaign to push it to the other side, right? They've been running the House because like they own it, but the fact is that they do own it. And they're not representing anybody here in Southwest Georgia. I feel like they've left us out to dry. They feel like they have these blue Columbus and they've got the military base, and so they're just handling their own system. And the state is just leaving us out to dry, not building on these properties for decades and just letting them be out here. And then now we have like data centers come in, environmental impacting, right? People, and because they set it up for failure. They set this whole area up for failure because there's no representation over here. I'm looking to cover Harris County and Muskogee County, all the way down to the airport to the mall, down to Macon Road, all the way up into the VFW in Harris County. I have the smallest geographical district, but I have the most people as far as density. I am former Navy combat veteran. I'm a former Army combat veteran. I did 14 years active duty service. Pick a place. I've been there. People shooting at me. I've been once I got out of the military, I moved to Washington D.C. I lived here in Georgia, but had to work out of Washington D.C. and I was a multimedia branch chief for U.S. Army at Fort Meade. It's home of the NSA over there. After about 5 years up there, moved down here and I became the broadcast team lead for Centers for Disease Control and Prevention up in Atlanta. I've led a lot of teams. Last year, Doge came in, wiped everybody out, decimated the CDC. My whole team's gone. I retired early because I had to. So after 23 years of service, I'm here. When I see this program here last night and talking about jobs and things that they can do for second chances, welding, and it's taught by CDC, I'm currently using my GI Bill right now, and I go to school as CDC for welding. I love it. It's the best thing in the world because those are skills that can be used universal. And the fact that we have those types of things available and these things to get people out, it's the best thing in the world. It's one of those things I can support. My job as what I'm going to bring to the state in this area is just working with everybody who spoke here tonight. That's it. Just listening to that. I already have a list. I'm just copying everybody's homework and representing it at the state. I'm the guy to do it, and I'm the only one to do it to represent on the Democratic side. I just need to let everybody know that I can be trusted. I still hold a secret security clearance from the federal government, and I'm ready to just help everybody out. Vote ValdezStatehouse.gov. I'll put the link up in the chat. Thank you.
Yes, please put the link in. Thank you so very much. Who else do we have here? I dropped in there the 706 citizen card. That is a plethora. When I tell you Denise Cambridge hooked it up, everything you need to know about Columbus government is in that PDF. And we'll make sure we email it to you as well. But it has everything in it, as far as who is who, hierarchy, where to go vote, what to do, when the city council meetings, when the school board meetings, and all of that good stuff. Who all is on here? Who else is on here from a House position? Nobody? Is Mr. Valdez the last person?
Oh,
Okay, not you, Mr. Woolman. I need you to mute yourself. Mr. Wool, you running for office? Okay. I thought Alyssa Williams would be on here. Anybody here from? Oh, okay. You better say something.
You said State House.
What did you? Okay, wait. Anybody else from House?
Senate.
You right. You sure right. You right. Andrea, not yeah. Okay. So if that's it for House, it looks like. Is there anybody on the call for Senate besides Miss Williams?
me, yes.
You're running for Senate.
What'd you say?
What position are you running for? What seat are you running for?
I support it.
Okay, thank you. Can you unmute yourself? Can you mute yourself? Thank you. Go ahead. Looks like Miss Williams will be the last, and then that'll be it.
Okay, I'm setting up my timer, Walisha.
All right.
Good afternoon, and thank you, New Life Second Chance Outreach, for the opportunity to speak tonight, and thank everybody else who came out and took their time to attend. My name is Alyssa Nia Williams. I'm a candidate for Georgia Senate District 15. That includes 7 different counties. So it's Muskogee, Chattahoochee, Macon, Marion, Schley, Talbot, Taylor, and Taylor County. That's 7. And I'm running because I believe that quality of life should not depend on your zip code. I moved to Columbus when I was 2 years old, and I grew up in this community. I often tell people I remember my big sister dragging me up Shepherd Drive to go to J.D. Davis Elementary because I walked too slow. I also attended Winton Elementary, Marshall Middle School, and Columbus High School. I remember the YMCA dances, and we had fully functional recreation centers. And those strong experiences shaped my understanding of what community was and how things could be in our area, how education and opportunity all impact a child's life. Fast forward, I would say my path has not been traditional. I earned my GED at 16 years old, moved on to my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I now have my master's degree in business administration. I share that because I want people to understand that there isn't just one path to success and that education and opportunity can change the direction of someone's life. I've worked in so many different fields, but it all comes back to people. So I've worked in customer service, healthcare, legal field, government, but I continuously see how difficult it is for people to navigate healthcare, navigate the court system, find stable employment, access resources, especially for justice impacted individuals who are trying to rebuild their lives. So when you ask people what is most important to them, when you ask people what's most important to them, they say their family, their finances, and their health. And when you really look at it, those things are all connected to quality of life. Those closest to the problems are always closest to the solutions. One of the biggest issues I've seen locally in Columbus is delayed courts and dead dockets. When cases sit for long periods of time without resolution, it affects people's ability to work, to find housing, and truly move forward with their lives. So a delayed case means delayed employment, delayed stability, delayed opportunity. And that's not just a legal issue, it's still a quality of life issue. So I'm running because I believe District 15 deserves leadership that listens, leadership that understands real life and is focused on improving the overall quality of life for the people who live here. So I want to serve the community that has poured so much into me. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so very much. And I would like that concludes all of the candidates on this call. We want to thank you all so much for your vote pitches and being efficient, but most importantly, for answering the call, answering your emails, because one of the biggest things and one of the biggest pet peeve for me, even though I am no longer a citizen and a resident of Columbus, I am usually here weekly. I love Columbus. It is my family. I grew up in Peabody, went to Jordan High School. Arnold was in foster care. This is my home. This is where I did my advocacy and my servant leadership. And one of the things that absolutely bothers me is people to get in a seat just to collect a check and do not answer their emails or their phones, or to get so comfortable that because you don't have opposition, you don't need to show up at candidate forums, or because you are you have an opposition, but because that person is new. I think we are in a new age, in a new time where people are tired of the same old, and people are ready for change. People are hurting out here, and people need to know that if you ain't did it by now, you ain't gonna do it. And it's time to get somebody else in here. And they feel like maybe if that's a mistake, at least they stepped out on faith and they took a chance. But I am wishing Columbus the absolute best. That with these new fresh faces, hopefully, that it will not only show Columbus that actually the people behind the seats don't have the power. The power lies with the people. But I'm hoping that it'll also show other people that maybe I can do it too. Whether you're a little unconventional, I myself ran for city council in 2017. I was told I was too fat to run. I was told I was too country to run. Nobody would vote for me because I was too country. Nobody would vote for me because I was overweight. Nobody would vote for me because I had been in foster care or had been a victim of trauma. Nobody would vote for me because, you know what? I was representing 7. And if there's anybody that knew about the situation that I had been through, would have been the people in 7. And I never from the jump withheld the fact that I had been in prison. Everybody knew that. And so I love the fact that you all are coming on here and all of your sincerity. Thank you, Joanne and Dr. John and Elliot and Lisa, everybody that spoke, fighting for your role and your position. And we're hoping that whoever does win, that you will do your job and hold to what you say, and don't just do it just to get the votes, but really show the people that regardless of what side, even though these are nonpartisan positions and roles, we all know that people are going to go with what they're used to doing, but we want folks to know that that party doesn't make a person a good person or a bad person. You yourself make whether you're a good person or a bad person for your community. And so we think everybody is inherently good. So I thank you all. New Life Second Chance thanks you all for joining us. We will make sure that this will be recorded. We will upload it to our YouTube page. If you missed our district, thank you, John. If you missed our city council forums for District 3, which was Sherry Aaron, Zach Lee, Jake Glover didn't show, and then 5 was Robert Watkins. The one that we had last night, we'll try to get it uploaded. I do know that Dr. Natalie Nicole went live, and I don't know how we can get it, but we'll try to put ours up in that series. We'll make sure we send that out, and this will be there as well. And we just want to thank you. Thank you for doing what so many people choose not to do. It's like the military. People complain all day, but they ain't trying to join. It takes a brave soul to run for office because people want to start picking, oh, you know, they went to jail, or you know, this going on in their relationship, or you know, this going on. And I be saying, shut up, because why ain't you running? So it's very brave to open yourself up like that, because once you start running for office, people feel that they have free will to attack you in any kind of way and be disrespectful. And that's not necessary. We're all people and we're all family. And so again, lastly, I want to thank you all so very much. April 3rd is the last day to submit a question for our candidate questionnaire. We had it open for folks who are local, but if you are state representatives and y'all are interested in being input in that, I will reach out to also other folks. If you can email us and let us know who your opponents are, because I think it only makes it fair that if we would include and invite you to be included to doing that, we want to also be fair and send it to the folks that you're running to. And I'm not really familiar with all the house and stuff. So if you can send me a list and say, hey, this is me and this is my opponent, I'll look for the information of contact information myself, and we'll make sure we send that out, because we want folks in Columbus to be able to know, have an informed decision. Questions need to be submitted by April 3rd. We're going to get those to the candidates by the 13th or 14th. They'll have about 2 weeks to get that done. And our goal is to have it finished and completed by the 14th. That'll give folks a good week to find out who's saying what. And it will go on our website, and we will maybe possibly have them printed out and distributed in the city of Columbus. So thank you all so much. Have a great night. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay beautiful.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Alicia.
Well, Alicia, hang on for a second.